Hey, Zen Otaku crew. Today's talk is serious, but also gives you chills. Have you ever thought about the villains that make you want to jump into the anime and punch someone? The characters that, just by showing up, make your blood boil? Well, today we're diving into the 10 most hated villains in anime history. And when I say hated, I'm not talking about rivalry or a fight. I mean characters that mess with you emotionally, make you scream at the TV, and even haunt your dreams. So stick around, hit that like, subscribe to Zen Otaku, and let's check out these villains that nobody, can stomach. 1. Shou Tucker, Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood. Starting with the villain that's basically every anime fan's nightmare. Shou Tucker, the infamous Chimera Dad, is the guy who will make you lose faith in humanity. He's a state alchemist who, desperate to maintain his title and reputation, transforms his own daughter Nina and her dog into a chimera, basically a monstrous hybrid, just to stay recognized. Fullmetal Alchemist. Brotherhood already prepares you for injustices in the world, but Tucker takes it to a whole new level. What makes him so hated isn't just the horrific act itself, but the coldness with which he does it. There's no remorse, no guilt. He represents pure selfishness and cruelty, and the Chimera reveal is still remembered as one of the most shocking moments in anime history. 2. Danzo Shimura, Naruto Shippuden. If you thought only villains outside the village were dangerous, Danzo proves otherwise. He's that character you can't help but hate, even though he's part of Konoha. Former ANBU leader and village elder, Danzo is manipulative, cold, and obsessed with power. What does he do? Sacrifices allies, manipulates information, and is always scheming to become Hokage. He exploits the trust and innocence of other ninjas and doesn't hesitate to commit atrocities for the greater good. For fans, Danzo is a villain who doesn't raise his fists but cuts you from behind. Pure hatred mixed with frustration. You want him to fail, but he always seems to escape consequences. Until a certain point. 3. Light Yagami. Death Note. Light Yagami is proof that good intentions can turn you into one of the most hated villains ever. At first, he's the brilliant student who thinks he can clean the world of evil using the Death Note. But soon, he becomes a calculating tyrant who kills anyone he deems unworthy. What sets Light apart is that he's smart, charismatic, and manipulative. He's not just physically evil. He destroys reputations, lies to everyone, and manipulates detectives and allies alike. And the worst part? He genuinely believes he's doing the right thing, which divides fans between hatred and fascination. But let's be real. Most of the time, you just want him to get his comeuppance. 4. Gendo Ikari, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Gendo Ikari is the kind of dad everyone fears. He's cold, manipulative, and selfish, basically treating his own son, Shinji, as a chess piece. In Evangelion, while the world faces apocalypse-level threats, Gendo is focused on his own plans with zero consideration for others' feelings or safety. Fans hate Gendo because of the mix of emotional abandonment and psychological manipulation. He embodies both institutional and personal coldness, making him hated not for his powers or monsters, but for being human and horrible. Anyone who's watched knows he's a master at making the viewer furious without lifting a finger. 5. Griffith, Berserk. Griffith starts as a charismatic leader, the type of character you love to root for. He's elegant, strategic, and ambitious, and the Band of the Hawk trusts him blindly. But then comes the eclipse, and everything changes. Griffith betrays his own team, sacrificing friends and even innocents to become Femto, a demonic apostle. The shock isn't just in the power he gains, but in the brutal coldness of the betrayal. He goes from hero to villain in an instant, and it's hard to find someone who watched and didn't feel rage. Griffith's hatred is visceral. He manipulates affections, destroys lives, and keeps that cold smile that freezes your soul. 6. Johann Liebert. Monster. Johann Liebert is the villain that scares you precisely because you can't understand his motivation. He's a manipulative psychopath who can control and ruin anyone's life simply for the pleasure of doing evil. In Monster, he's introduced as an innocent child, but slowly reveals his terrifying coldness. Johan's genius is being unpredictable. He doesn't act out of revenge or necessity, he acts out of sheer perversity. For fans, he's unforgettable. Even years later, his icy smile gives you chills. He's the cerebral villain who plays with the viewer's mind. 7. Dio Brando, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Dio is the classic villain combining charisma, cruelty, and pure arrogance. From the start in Phantom Blood, he shows absolute contempt for anyone not like him. His actions range from psychological manipulation to brutal murders. Fans hate Dio because he's always one step ahead, mocking and humiliating protagonists while pursuing ultimate power and immortality. He's cruel, stylish, and utterly lacking in empathy, which makes him unforgettable. 8. Malti S. Melremark, The Rising of the Shield. Hero. Malti is the princess who seemed sweet, but turns out to be one of the most despicable villains in recent anime history. She manipulates public opinion, lies, falsely accuses Naofumi, and essentially ruins his life from day one. Fans' hatred comes not just from her lies, but from the malicious way she operates. She's fun to hate because she's strategic and knows exactly how to hurt. And the best part? She never shows remorse. Anyone watching just wants Naofumi to get his revenge. 9. Kyuubi, Puella Magi Madoka. Magica. Kyuubi is the villain who hides behind a cute facade. Small, adorable, and seemingly harmless, he's actually a manipulator of human desires. In Madoka Magica, he offers girls contracts to become magical, while completely ignoring the devastating consequences these contracts bring. Fans hate Kyuubi for the contrast between his angelic appearance and his cold actions. He feels no remorse, has no empathy, and treats human lives as mere resources. He's the kind of villain that makes you question how sweet something that looks innocent can really be. 10. Mahito, Jujutsu Kaisen. Mahito is the sadistic villain who proves to be crueler than many monsters. He manipulates human souls like toys, turning people into monsters and enjoying their suffering. What makes Mahito so hated is the mix of intelligence and pure malice. He doesn't act out of necessity, but for the pleasure of tormenting and testing limits. In Jujutsu Kaisen, every time he appears, it's a reminder that the world can be cruel, and the hatred fans feel toward him is completely justified. So guys, what did you think of the list? Can you remember a moment that made you scream at the screen in rage? Is there a villain you think should have been included or left out? Drop it in the comments, I want to hear your opinions. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Zen Otaku, hit the bell so you don't miss any updates, and leave that awesome like. This way, you help the channel and make sure we keep bringing more content about the craziest villains, the most epic anime, and everything a true otaku loves. See you in the next video, guys.